Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is Blaise Collett Coaching. This is Coaching with Blaise. So please feel free to subscribe down below. Today I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you're not seeing the results in your body that you do want. Okay, this is honestly a hard conversation. This is a client, I'm still waking up, a conversation I have with all of my clients. So if you don't know, I am a personal trainer and a nutrition coach. I've been doing this for 11 years and I decided to make my YouTube because people ask me the same questions all the time. So think of this essentially as a free coaching session. You're getting a free coaching session right now and I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why you're not seeing the change in your body that you want. So here we go. Number 1, this is going to be the hardest one to swallow, and that's going to be you're not being honest with yourself, okay? So when people come to me, they're like, I don't eat that much, I work out, and I'm not stressed out. And as I peel back the layers and we train together for 6 months to a year, some people I've trained for 5 years, what I learn, and this is very normal, so do not judge yourself for this, is that most people are pretty much not working out. If they are, they're doing very, very little and they're not progressively overloading their muscles, okay? Or they're eating way more than they think they are and they're not actually holding themselves accountable to like program, right? Something consistent, something steady. Most people that come to me are consistent for 2 to 3 weeks and then they fall off for 2 weeks and then they're back off. So just realize that if you're not being honest about, and you don't have to be honest to anyone but yourself, right? But if you're not being honest with yourself about what you're doing, it's going to be very hard to see changes. So a good example of this for me was I'm going through a cut, and you can see these photos on the thumbnail. I'm doing a cut right now. I would say right now I'm not being as strict, but the first month of my cut, which was in March of 2025, I was not tracking my food. I was just taking progress photos and I was doing like more so intuitive eating, which there's nothing wrong with that. But when you're on a cut and you do want to lose weight or lose body fat, you do actually kind of need to track what you're eating so you know if you're eating too much, okay? Then as soon as I started tracking, I was like, oh, I'm eating like way more than 2,000 calories a day, which is fine. Like I'm not going to gain weight doing that because I'm so active. So just remember, like I'm a personal trainer. I work out 1 to 3 times a day. I'm always walking. I'm always moving. I don't sit at a desk. So my metabolism is always like moving. But I basically was like, why am I not seeing results? Then I started tracking and I started seeing results like immediately within a week or 2. So the second month of the cut was more effective. So this is a level of honesty we have to have with ourselves. And this can be very, very challenging because I know for me, it's like always easy to give yourself the benefit of the doubt, and that's normal. But unfortunately, giving yourself the benefit of the doubt and being like, I work out plenty, I move plenty, I'm not really that stressed. You don't actually know that unless you're tracking it. So I'm not saying you need to be like a psycho person and track all of your calories, but it might be nice to know how much protein you need to intake. Okay, so if you have questions about that, talk to me. So that's the number 1 thing is you need to be honest with yourself. You need to be accountable to yourself, okay? Now I'm going to give you some things you can do with that honesty and accountability. So number 2 is you have to lift heavy, okay? Gotta lift heavy. Look at these guns. I don't think I look bulky. Like you can see my arm, even though it's in the shirt, right? I'm sleek, okay? The myth that lifting heavy makes you bulky is a complete fucking lie. And the reality is that most women would have to lift so heavy. Like you would have to be, no offense, but it would take you like 2 years to lift heavy enough to create a bulk, okay? Because most people don't have the strength to lift heavy. So for example, if you do a squat with a weight, every week you do a squat with a weight and you hold a 10-pound weight at your chest, you are gonna look the exact same, if not plateau, if not lose muscle, if you just continue to do a 10-pound weight at your chest, okay? This is the basic principle of progressive overload. Now, let's put this in a different way. Let's say, there's no water left in there. Let's say week 1, you do 10 pounds. Week 2, you do 15 pounds. Week 3, you do 25 pounds. Week 4, you do 35 pounds. Week 5, you do 55 pounds. Week 6, you do 65 pounds. Now we're actually talking This is the type of lifting heavy I'm talking about, okay? This is going to get you where you want to go. Especially like if you're a woman and you want to have the lean, sleek physique, you don't have to lift. Like when I say heavy, 65 pounds at your chest is not powerlifting status. This is just like enough to break your muscles down to build back. So this is important. Another thing that's important with this is like you can technically do progressive body weight exercises. So an example of this would be like a pull-up, right? Every woman these days wants to do a pull-up. Okay, well, let me tell you, it took me 4 years to get my pull-up, okay? Because I have big boobs and they're really fucking hard for me and I weigh like 160 pounds. So it's like pulling 160 pounds upward in the air, okay? So you can do this with bands. Just because a movement isn't weighted technically, like a pull-up's technically body weight, you're technically pulling 100 and whatever pounds that you weigh. So you can do the banded pull-up, and then as you get stronger, you decrease the like circumference or diameter of the band, and then you get less and less support. Okay, this is very, very challenging. So you do need to lift heavy. You need to do this 2 to 3 times a week. If you have questions about this, please let me know. This is my full-time job in addition to coaching you for free on YouTube. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, and this is one I kind of scoffed at for a long time, walking. Okay, I was always active. I always lifted weights, did my cardio, but during the day, I feel that I was pretty sedentary. Nowadays, even if I can only go for a 10-minute walk in the morning, I always make time to prioritize my walking. So now I can get 12,000 or 15,000 steps pretty much no problem because I have it so built into my life and my habits. So I have this step counter and I like it because it's compact. And yeah, it's really helped me. So walking is important because it increases the amount of calories, if you want to use calories, that you're burning per day, right? And it goes back to my first point. If we think we're burning a lot and we're moving a lot, and we look at our step count at the end of the day and it's at 3,000, no offense, babe, you got to move, okay? You're not doing enough. You got to do more, okay? And walking is low intensity. It's steady state. My heart rate will typically be like 110, maybe 120 max. And this is a really nice fat burning place to be. So I personally love walking. It's also low impact. You can get out your door right now and go for a walk. So setting a step goal for yourself and reaching it every single day. I started with 10,000. Now I'm more like, I would say 12,000, and that's pretty easy for me to get because I'm just like spiraling around all day. So please make sure you're walking. This is a huge part of your fitness journey, and it just makes you more active. I really like it. It reduces my stress, and I'm stoked on it. Okay, number 3 reason why you're probably not seeing any results right now, and I really want to help you see results. We did 1, 2, 3. This is number 4. You are in a toxic relationship. This could be with a partner, a family member, a friend. No one on YouTube is talking about this, and I want to talk about it because I just got out of a relationship. It was definitely not toxic, but it wasn't aligned for me. And I have to say my body's been feeling better ever since. I've been sleeping better. I've been processing. I've been feeling good. My mental health is better. Everything is connected, and when we try to isolate relationships away from all the things we're doing with our fitness and our body and our nutrition, when we isolate it away, we really are sacrificing. Because even if you're in a toxic relationship and you're like, well, at least I'm like not hungry because I'm always in fight or flight, so I'm not eating. That's not good for you. That's not good for your body because that means you're stressed, and we don't want to be stressed because then our hormones are fucked up. If our hormones are fucked up, our cycles are fucked up. If our cycles are fucked up, we have a low libido, right? We want to feel good in our entirety of our lives. So if you're in a toxic relationship, recently I had a friend who was in a toxic dynamic, right? So one of my really good friends, she was friends with someone who was always complaining, always negative, always bitching, always moaning about stuff. And I was like, dude, you got to cut this out of your life. And she finally did after a year and a half of being friends with this person. And then yesterday I was talking to her and she's like, I feel such a sense of relief. And it's like, okay, if there are things, even though they're hard to walk away from, people that are hard to walk away from, but you can walk away because you know it's not good for you, you're gonna see results in your body because you're not going to be as stressed out. This is huge, okay? Also, it helps you to create a life that's aligned with what you actually want. So if you have fake friendships or people that treat you like shit or a partner that is not meeting your needs, yes, it is scary to walk away. I understand that. But when you remove yourself from that situation, you tell the universe, I'm done. I'm not accepting this. I can do better. And as you start to do better, you feel better. When you feel better, you make better choices. You eat better. You walk more. You're not depressed laying in your fucking bed because you're in fight or flight because some crusty sun is giving you anxiety, okay? Walk away from the toxicity, okay? And then this leads me to my last point, number 5, breathing and stress. I'm not one of those trainers. Like, I come on here in a very calm demeanor. And this is because I used to be like one of those psychotic trainers who worked all the time, believed in burnout, ruined my hormones, had adrenal fatigue, and it didn't work. So it's not working for you either. If you're constantly stressed, I have this one client, he is unfortunately always in fight or flight. He's always very upset. He's not like upset, but I can just tell he's always jacked up. His nervous system is always jacked up. And I'm like, dude, you gotta calm the fuck down. So all you have to do is take 2 minutes for yourself in the morning to breathe and to slow down. You can also slow down when you're eating. This is going to help you see results. And the reason why you have to focus on your breathing and getting rid of your stress is because when you're stressed, your cortisol, which is your stress hormone, goes up. When your stress hormone is up, guess what your body's going to do? It's going to go into fight or flight. And then it's going to be like, haha, no, bitch, we're not going to lose weight. We're going to hold on to everything because we're emotionally holding on. We're mentally holding on. We're not sleeping. Right? We need to be able to let go and calm ourselves down if we want to see results in our body. That's been huge for me. And that's why walking is great because it releases cortisol from your body. Like, it gets rid of that. If we're doing too much like high intensity HIIT training or like excessive cardio, I used to do like fucking 6 days of cardio a week. It was crazy. We have to release and reduce our stress. And this starts with breathing. Even if you just take 5 deep breaths a day, and get rid of your stress. Have a nice evening routine. I talked about that in my other video, how to secure yourself, and also in Why Women Need Alone Time, about how to just like create a nightly routine that feels good, and this is going to decrease your stress, which makes sleep easier. So you basically can't have, it's like nutrition, exercise, sleep, and then general recovery and stress reduction. If one of those is off, you're not going to see results. That's the whole point of this video. So like, if your nutrition is good, your exercise is good, but you don't sleep, your body's still going to hold on to weight. If your exercise is good, your sleep is good, but your nutrition is fucking trash, you're still going to hold on to weight. If you over-exercise, so you don't recover, but your exercise is good and your nutrition's good, you're going to get injured. They all work together, okay? So these are the 5 reasons why you might not be seeing a result that you want. If you change these things, make these little shifts, and let me know if this helps, okay? Hopefully that was helpful to you. Please like and subscribe down below. My name is Blaise Collett. This is my channel, Coaching with Blaise, and I will see you on the next one, okay? Bye.